I had to start off with a smile because that's what I do. I smile. I don't know what Instagram am I on my look. I'm like I don't know what Instagram I'm on. Hello, everybody, on this tantalizing Tuesday, as I love to call it. Tantalizing is my favorite word. Yes, it starts with the T. When I was doing fantasy football, tantalizing was my name of my team. So, hello, everybody. Talking about living here in Memphis. And if you don't know who I am, my name is Toria Howard. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan, now residing in Memphis, Tennessee, where I'm all things real estate, commercial and residential. I'm also a commercial funding broker, so I can help you get those funds for their real estate or commercial projects. And I'm also in the business funding space. So if you need some business funding, I can help you with that. And then I'm also in the credit restoration financial literacy space where I am on a mission to help 1,000 plus people become more financially literate, become homeowners, all of that. I had a brain fart for a second. But no, I'm on a mission to help 1,000 plus people become more financially literate so they can get the generational knowledge so they can create generational wealth. Tongue twister. So I am talking about the real estate market today in Memphis and some different tips and the things that's going on around in Memphis. So and also around the United States in a sense because the interest rates are the interest rates in some areas. So tune in with me, and if you're watching this live, drop a one in the comments. If you are watching, or if you're new to my live, drop a two, and then if you are watching replay, drop a three, and I really appreciate it. So let's get started. Let's talk about what was moving and shaking the last 7 days in Memphis. So there are 250 new listings this week. There was 307 houses sold in the last 7 days. 307 houses have been sold in the last 7 days, and 143 are pending. So they are on their way to the closing table. So anytime a house is pending, they're past the contingency period. They're just waiting for everything else to come to the table where they can go to the closing table. So people are still buying and selling in this market. So don't be afraid to buy or sell in this market. There, I know that it's a lot of fear that there's not enough homes. That is true, but there are still homes out there to be bought. You just have to be open minded. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Being a little bit more open minded when it comes to buying a home, because everybody wants the home to be move-in ready. I get that, but if you could take a home and make it your own, then it's a brand new house and it's customized to what you want. Because a lot of times these builders are building the houses already and then you can't pick or anything like that. That's how they can jack up the price and then save on costs on top of that, because they're putting what they want in there, which is called builder grade items in there. Or you can go get a ugly house on a beautiful block and make it your own. So 250 new homes on the market this week. 307 were sold. So people are still buying and selling here, and 143 are pending. So let's talk about some things that goes on in Memphis now. You know, I do want to give a little update on that. What should I do? No, let me go to the mortgage rates first. Then I'll go to the fun stuff. Let's go to the not so sexy stuff first. The mortgage rates, right? Everybody is so up in arms about the mortgage rates. Oh, the mortgage rates are so high, this and that. Real estate is always going to be a good asset to buy, regardless if the market is down, up, or in between. It's always a good asset to buy. So, like I always say, if your credit score is a 740 to an 850, your interest rate is going to be the same. So, your objective is to get your credit score to at least, well, you want to get it to a 760. So, just in case you take a hit in the buying process, you get to that 740, your interest rate won't change. Or you can buy an interest rate lock with your lender. I'm not a licensed mortgage broker, so I don't know much about that. But I know it's possible where you can pay to lock your rate in at whatever it is at that moment. So if you have a 740 to 850, your the average. This is average, so because we have some lenders that's at 4%, they went down. Like this ever went down. So they're trying to regulate the market as much as they can. But when you when you print all that money and put it into the economy, of course there's going to be a recession, right? People are going to have to pay that money back. So prices are going to rise, interest rates are going to rise. So that's what happens. But it's still a good time to buy. It's always a good time to buy real estate because it's a appreciating asset. You just have to buy the right real estate and figure out what to do with it. Hey, Coach Ward. So like I said, 740 to 850. The average. This is the average. Like I said, some lenders across the country have mortgage rates in the 400. I mean, in the 4%. So you just have to find that right lender. But on average, it's 5.32. Now, last week it was like 5.5, 5.4, something like that. So it's creeping down just a little bit. So if you had a 720, 739, you had a 5.4. If you are at a 700, 719, you're at a 5.7. So you see it gradually creeps up as you go down. That's why I said 760 is optimum because if something happens in the buying process and you get to that 740, you'll still keep the same interest rate or you lock in your interest rate by buying it. If you had a 680 to 699, it's at a 6. So as you can see, your credit score makes a huge difference. Almost a 1% increase from a 740 to a 680 to 699. So 660 to 679, you add a 700. I mean a 7%. So you see that went up a whole percent from a 6. What was that 680 to 699 to a 660. It's almost a whole 1% increase. So your credit score matters. If you're at 740, 659, it's a 7 as well. And if you are at 620, it's at 639 because you can get, and some lenders are allowing you to get a mortgage at 620. You have to have at least a 620 to get home buyer assistance. Now you can buy a house at 580, but you have to put a lot of money down. If you have the money to put up, by all means, but your interest rate is going to be high. You're gonna have that PMI on there. So anything lower for FHA and conventional loans, anything lower, and I'm not a licensed mortgage broker. I'm just talking about the knowledge that I know from experience of buying my own home. If you have anything below in the FHA, I think it might be, don't quote me, but it's like 680 or below, you had that PMI that's going to be attached to it. Some of them are 700 and below. So you just have to be mindful. You got to read your paperwork. Make sure you read your paperwork. You have that mortgage insurance because of your credit score. So you just have to be mindful of that and make sure that you're reading your contracts and things like that before you sign them. So let's talk about something. Now that went to the unsexy stuff. Let's talk about some fun stuff here in Memphis. So it's the summertime. Look, it's been 100 degrees. Actually, it wasn't 100 degrees. Like 760, Coach Ward, though. Yeah, it's been 100 degrees. It was 100 degrees for like 3 weeks straight. Now, we just got into the 90s here in Memphis. So you might not want to be outside that much because it's still 90 degrees at night. But hey, we still have some beautiful places here to go outside and eat on the patio, from downtown to different places. So it's 100 names on this list. I'm only going to do a few. So you have downtown, you have Cordelia's Market. These are all restaurants with patios and outdoor spaces. So you have Cordelia's Market, Laughlin Yard, Comeback Coffee, Cupcake Cutie, Curfew, and Central Barbecue. Rendezvous is on that list. Silly Goose. So Main Street, you have Sage. You have Aldo's Pizza Pies, Blind Bear Speakeasy, Majestic Grill. These are all places that have outdoor spaces in Memphis. The Vault. On Beale Street, you got Blue, Silky O'Sullivan's, Jerry Lewis Cafe, Alfred's on Beale, BB King's, Crosstown. the Edge Medical District, you got High Cotton Brewery, you got Edge Alley, you got Crosstown Brewery Company, Sunrise Memphis. Now, Sunrise is one of my favorite breakfast spots. I love Sunrise. I have to go to Sunrise at least, look, at least twice a week. I go to Sunrise. Don't tell my husband. Shh, shh. Listen, I go there twice, at least twice a week. I go to Sunrise. It's one of my favorite breakfast spots here. So the Cooper Young, you got Memphis Made Brewery tap room, the beauty shop. Now, if y'all have not been to the beauty shop, y'all sleeping on the beauty shop. I love going in there, and I didn't even know they had outdoor spaces. I've always been going inside. It's real cute in there. It's set up like a real beauty shop and everything. And the food is pretty good. So I like the beauty shop. Hammer and Ale has outside. Cafe Olay, Bain Barbecue and Bakery. So Overtown Square, you have Babalu, you have Memphis Pizza Cafe. Memphis Pizza Cafe is one of my favorites. You have the Bayou. Bayou is one of my favorites. Local on the Square. I haven't been to Local in a while. Side Street Grill, Saltwater Crab. I like saltwater crab. That's in the Midtown area. So in the Broad Avenue, Binghamton area, you got Maximo's on Broad, the liquor store, one of my favorites too, and Hamp Line Brewery. East Memphis, you got Sidecar Cafe, Big Bill's Barbecue. I love the barbecue salmon burger, whatever they call it at Big Bill's. That's one of my favorites. Soul Fish, Swanky Taco Shop, just to name a few. So if you want to go to the Patio in Memphis, those are a few places that you can go to eat outside and enjoy this nice hot blistering weather that we've had in the last few weeks. But like I said, this week, well, starting off this week, it's been hot still, but it hasn't been 100 degrees plus. Like we was in the 107s, 110s for like 3 weeks, and it finally rained for 2 days because they needed that rain. So let's go on to some seller tips, shall we? So I know a lot of people are apprehensive about, selling their home. But if you are thinking about selling your home, and, like I said, I would love to list your home for you. But if you're in another area, these are still some tips that you can use. And if you have your realtor, you can do the same thing, suggest it as a realtor, suggest these to your clients. So you have to stage, like staging is important because people need to see the home lived in, not too lived in, but they need to see it where it's lived in. So if you're thinking about selling your home, it's always good to stage it. Now, if you're selling your home and you live in it, just spruce up what you already have. But these are some essential things that you can do to spruce up your home because staging helps you, sell your house for more. It's crazy, but it helps because people like to see, furniture placement. They want to visualize their furniture, things on the wall, all of that. So you start with the curb appeal. I've always said that part. So you start with the curb appeal because that's the first thing people see when they first walk up. So make sure if you don't want to plant flowers and all of that, just make sure that everything just look clean and nice and spruced up, nice paint. Put some color out there. If you don't want to plant flowers, put some fake flowers out there just for show. Put some colorful mulch, have the grass cut, clear off the porch, have nice seat on the porch or something like that. People like to sit on the porch if you have a porch. If you don't have a porch, then you can't do that. But if you do, and then if you want to go to another extreme, paint your house a nice color, or paint the shutters. Have a nice colored door. A nice colored door is very inviting. So give your kitchen a facelift. Like I've said before, you don't have to do a whole kitchen remodel in order for it to look good. You can reface your cabinets, change the hardware, change the sink, the faucet, change the countertops out, just spruce it up a little bit. Flooring is very important too. Pare down furniture. So meaning declutterize. You got to declutterize your spaces. Just make it look livable, nice and clean and organized, that is favorable. So rethink your furniture placement. Rearrange your furniture so that it makes the room look bigger. Because a lot of people like big spaces nowadays. Everybody want open spaces, right? Everybody want open spaces. So rearrange your furniture so it's not don't look like the room is too small for the furniture. Add a functional office space. Because everybody working from home now, it's always good to add a space where they can see themselves working. By a window. People want to have some light coming in. Those different things. Depersonalize. So take down your family photos and all of that. You can put up a nice painting. I have a young lady. I have not posted it, but she does wonderful art here in Memphis. She would love to display her art in your home. So any realtor out there, she would love to display her. If you're staging a home, she would love to display her art to help you sell your home. Show off your storage. That means you have to, organize your closet, make it look good. People like organized things because they want to visualize them or their stuff in there organized, even though they might not do it themselves. Make your bathroom shine. So please, please, especially if you have glass, make sure it's clean. Talk to your real estate agent about helping, pay for expenses, to help clean, or you get the house clean professionally. And make sure the tiles are clean, the floor is clean, the countertops are clean. All of those different things are a big thing. I'm not saying you got to do a whole bathroom remodel, but just make it clean, especially if you have glass. uh, so fill your home with pleasant aromas. People love when a house smells good. I know I do. When I walk into a house and it smells good, it makes me feel good. It makes me, invigorated. So make it smell good. Put different things in the house to make it not too overpowering where people like, oh, it's an old lady, or, oh, it's too floral, flowery, whatever. Just get a nice, neutral, clean type of smell. Amp up your lighting. Change your light fixtures. Light fixtures are not that expensive, but it makes a whole lot of difference in a space. So make sure that you change your light fixtures. Erase signs of pets as much as possible, especially pet hair and dander. It just makes it look dirty. Use color to highlight. So do an accent wall with a different color and then have the neutrals all around it. That will draw buyers in too. Make the bedrooms luxe, especially the master bedroom. You have to make it look comfortable and make it look like a spa, even though you might not even have a big bathroom or whatever, but it needs to have a spa like feel, a relaxing type feel, a zen type feel. So make sure that your bedroom, especially the master bedroom, is feeling like a spa, something where you can relax. Accessorize in threes. So mixing the right accessories can make a room more inviting. So when it comes to eye pleasing, accessorizing, odd numbers are preferred. So, especially three. Rather than line up a trio of accessories in a row, imagine a triangle and place an object at each point. So think about shapes and forms when you're talking about staging. Last but not least, use curtains to fool the eye. Hung the right way, window treatments can help a room look spacious. So use the tricks. So if you're thinking about selling, that's some selling tips that you can use. Staging is important. Decluttering is important. Clean spaces is important. Depersonalizing is important. So make sure that you're focusing on that. So let's talk about some home buying tips from a realtor. So first and foremost, the home buying process, like it is, it's a process. So make sure that you're picking the right person. Like I said, if you're in Memphis, I would love for you to choose me. But if I don't resonate with you, as and think about that word, my one associate of mine, he doesn't like the word resonate, but it just made me laugh because I used it. But interview your agent and lenders before committing. I tell my clients that all the time, well, potential clients, because you're not my client until you sign a contract. But I tell people that, when they call me to ask, I said, interview. I always say, interview the lender. Interview me. What questions do you have and how I can help you during this search? You have to be able to ask the right questions. So, especially with the lender, because the lender can make and break your deal. So, you need to be establishing a relationship with them, a positive relationship. Find out if they like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts, whatever it is. Make sure that lender has everything that they need to commit to the job, because the lender will make or break your deal. So make sure that you're interviewing your realtor and your lenders, because you want to make sure it's a good fit, because these are the people that are going to be with you during that process. And it's a long process sometimes. Sometimes it's short, it's quick. If you find something that you really like and you want to jump on it and you get it, it can happen that fast. So just make sure that you're interviewing your agents and your lenders before you commit, because once you commit to a lender, and you go through the process, you can go and start back all over, but you got to get your credit pulled again and all of that. So get the report up front to get a good feel. At this point, you should know, if you have good vibes with a person, because it's all about the connection and the vibe in that, because it can make or break your deal. So make sure that you are interviewing agents and lenders. Um, Be flexible with your home search. A lot of people are not flexible. I know a lot of people want to run from the hood and all of that, but what is wrong with buying? I know it sounds cliche, but what is wrong with buying the block in your neighborhood? The people make the neighborhood safe. That's the thing. Whenever you see a block that's quiet in the so-called hood or whatever, it's people on that block that make sure that nothing goes down on that block, and they work together and they band together and they make it work. So you get the ugliest house, on the best block, even if it's in the so-called hood or whatever the case may be. Get what you can afford, and then graduate. Then graduate. People always want to go from 0 to 100, and it doesn't work like that all the time. You don't have the budget for the house that you have in your mind, but if you get started, you will have an asset to build on. So you buy that starter home and you live in it for a couple years. Use the equity to go buy another home, and preferably, which I should have did. I didn't know that at first. I would have bought a duplex or a triplex or a fourplex. When I first started buying, when I first bought my house, because that rent can pay your mortgage, and then if that rent is paying your mortgage, once you move out, you have a whole cash flowing asset that you pull money out to go and buy that dream home that you wanted. You have to be flexible in your home search. Stop looking at the ugly duckling and thinking it cannot be a swan. It can, if you allow it to be. So be open minded. Find it. Like I said, find the best house. On the worst. I mean, find the worst house on the best block and make it your own. And don't be afraid. If it has the right structure, the right bones, the right feel for you, it just has some cosmetic things. I'm not talking about buying a house that's about to fall down. No. But I'm just saying, if it has good bones, you like the setup, you can visualize yourself being there, and when it's modern and all of that, that's Trump on it. Another thing you need to do is understand your real estate contract. Make sure you're reading it, taking it to a lawyer. You can do that before you sign it. Consult a lawyer. Make sure that the contract is, something that you want to follow. So that is really important. You have to understand the real estate contract. And nowadays, because when I bought my first house, all that stuff I had to read through, I was like, oh my God. But I ended up, fine, of course, but I was at a dealership with a friend of mine, and they, you know, you know. So understand your real estate contract. You got to understand. So home inspections won't reveal everything. So make sure that you know that sometimes the home, and some people make mistakes, some people miss things. So you can't, the things happen. You have 10 to 14 days usually for the home inspection. And based on the results, your real estate agent, lawyer, depending on who you're working with, can request monetary concessions. You can ask for repairs for things that need to be done. If you have an FHA loan, they're going to make them do the repairs anyway if they want to sell the home. And then last but not least, you don't have to put down 20% to buy a home. I don't know where people thought that you had to put down 20%. Now it's good if you have 20% to put it down. Some people might frown against that because there's other ways that you can beat. Instead of putting 20% down, there's other ways that you can beat paying all that interest, which, is described as the pill method. So, you always looking at your amortization schedule. And once you look at your amortization schedule, you can figure out when is the best time to make your payments. And it's always in between that reporting cycle. So you don't have to put $20,000, 20% down on a home in order to be a homeowner. You have, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, you have first-time home buyer incentives, different things like that will help you be able to get in the home. I thought I was over. So financing is not one size fit all. So there's various products. You have FHA, you have conventional, you have USDA, you have all these different, you have jumbo loans. Jumbo loans are for, depending on your state, $500,000 homes or more. So it's so many different things that you have to learn and aspects that you have to learn in the process. So, because it's not a one size fit all type of situation. Read your contracts. Have somebody else read over it. And that's it for the buyer. So let's go to the credit tip. Let me take a little sip of water. Mouth dry. I've been talking for almost 30 minutes. So we're talking about the credit tip today in order for you to be prepared to purchase your home. So factors that can hurt your credit score before, during the mortgage loan process. Yes, I said during. You can lose your home at the closing table because of poor money management. It almost happened to me, but I paid the debt off, but they went back and put it on there as a zero balance. I didn't, and a collection on top of that. And those people were not about to give me my keys to my house when I know for a fact that I had cleared that up before I even moved down here. So it's either here nor there, but just be mindful. Make sure that you comb through your credit report and see what's on there, because foreclosures, bankruptcies, even though, depending on how bankruptcies is kind of iffy because it all depends on when you got discharged. But charge-offs, collections, evictions, all those type of things are heavy on the credit report. It takes a while for it to come off. So you need to make sure that you're mindful and do the things that you're supposed to do in the process of, buying the home. So what are some things? So contact a trusted credit preparer company to help you with delinquent items. So you can do it on your own. I mean, YouTube University, if you don't want to pay nobody. My thing is this: my time is my currency, because you can't get that time back. Why would I do something that I can have somebody else do and then generate so much more leads because of that? Keep credit and your credit card balances to 6 to 10% utilization 2 to 3 months prior to applying for a mortgage. You have to keep that. Spend on your credit cards, yes, but you have to be able to pay it off before the billing cycle is over. So if you don't know what the billing cycle is, it's usually at the top or the bottom or somewhere on your statement stating that you're going to get charged this amount of money in this, in this time frame. And, make sure that you are utilizing it and paying it off 2 days before it gets reported, because usually the creditors report your credit, whatever's on your credit, after that billing cycle. So make sure that you are understanding that you need to pay your bill off before that bill, like 2 days before that billing cycle ends. So what's getting reported is a low balance on there, which will help boost your score. So avoid closing accounts or opening new lines of credit told by a lender or credit repair specialist. You need to make sure that you are not, during this process, adding any more debt, because that means once they go back and they look at it and the lenders look at it and the underwriters look at it, they're going to see that your DTI went up, which is your debt to income ratio. And that is going to lower your chances of getting that home at that price point, unless it was like you had, got approved for something astronomical and you lose a few thousand, and that's something different. But it can make or break you. So make sure that you avoid closing accounts or opening new lines of credit. Don't do it. I don't care if you are in the process of buying your home. I don't care if Pookie and them, look, I'm saying my age, like Pookie and them say, come and stick their hand out and say, hey, can you co-sign for me? No, you cannot co-sign or add nothing else to your plate other than what you already have, so you can keep the price point that you want. Avoid excessive inquiries in 1 year year time span. Make sure that you only have like 2 inquiries. Keep that in mind, because if it looks like you have 20, 30, 40, look at it. Inquiries on your credit report, it's going to take a while for those to come off, but I have the solution if you would like to partake. And then I just already said is don't go sign for nobody. Don't add to your debt. Don't do it. Don't add to your DTI. So thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I don't know who is this on Facebook, but hello. Thank you for staying. And, if you don't know who I am, yes, I am blessed. But no, I am Toria Howard. I am originally from Detroit, Michigan. So what up, though, to all my Detroit people? And if you missed my live, go back and watch the replay. Drop a 3 in the comments. Give me some comments. Give me some feedback, what you think. But anyway, I'm all things real estate, commercial, and residential. And I'm a commercial funding broker, business funding broker, and I'm in the credit restoration space. I do want to help people buy homes. That's the reason why I ended up doing credit repair in the first place, because I ran into so many people who needed help like I did. I needed help for mine because I couldn't even, open my business up properly without the funds that I need and the credit and all of that. All of that is important. All of that is essential. So make sure that you're taking care of your finances. Get the credit repair that you need. If you want to go with me, I would love to have you and I would love to help. But if you want to go somewhere else, that's fine. But just make sure that you get the financial advice you need in order to make better decisions. That's all I want my people to do. Make better decisions. Make better decisions. So I say that to say this. I bid y'all adieu. I bid you adieu, as they would say in Shakespeare. Please watch the replay, because I did, gave some good information, and y'all have a wonderful and blessed night.